You think respect is earned by speaking well, by explaining clearly, by proving your intelligence in real time. But watch yourself carefully in a room where you feel evaluated. You speak faster, you add extra context, you clarify what no one questioned, you defend positions no one attacked, you call it being articulate. But what you are actually doing is managing insecurity. The problem is not what you say, it is how much you need to say it. Every unnecessary word quietly lowers your authority. Because the more you attempt to secure respect through speech, the more you signal you do not already possess it. And that signal follows a pattern. Speech is not neutral, it is a status signal. When command is strong, expression becomes precise. When command is weak, expression becomes excessive. Notice the internal pattern. Silence appears. You feel tension. You rush to fill it. A question is asked. You answer it. Then you continue answering. Then you add justification. Then you add proof. No one demanded it. Your ego did. Each extra sentence is a subconscious request. Do you see my value? Status insecurity creates verbal inflation. You justify more. You explain more. You reassure more. And in doing so, you communicate instability. Power operates on scarcity. Rare resources carry weight. So do rare words. The individual who speaks less forces the room to lean in. The one who floods the space trains others to tune out. And this is not about introversion, it is about regulated output. You were taught that strong leaders control rooms through verbal presence. That influence comes from filling silence. That dominance equals volume. This belief is psychological sabotage because dominance through volume is fragile. It depends on constant reinforcement. When you rely on speaking to maintain authority, you become dependent on reaction, on nods, on agreement, on visible acknowledgement. Silence does not chase approval, it creates gravity. Most people interrupt silence because they are uncomfortable inside it. They mistake tension for weakness, but controlled silence is not absence, it is pressure. When you respond slowly, when you compress your words, when you allow others to overextend themselves verbally, you gather information, and you signal composure. Excess speech leaks internal doubt. Measured speech projects internal order. And each time you over-explain to feel accepted, you train your mind to equate tension with verbal discharge. Over time, that discharge reshapes identity. This is where the damage deepens. Because repeated verbal inflation rewires identity. First you talk more to clarify, then you talk more to justify, then you talk more to protect image. Now you are known as long-winded, over-detailed, eager. You believe you are being thorough, but what people feel is effort, and effort under evaluation signals insecurity. Watch two leaders answering the same challenge. One responds in one sentence. The other responds in 6. One pauses before speaking. The other speaks while thinking. One leaves space. The other fills it. Space creates gravity. Filling space reveals anxiety. In every room, hierarchy quietly forms around the most stable nervous system. If you cannot tolerate silence, you cannot hold authority. Now Stoic law becomes necessary, not stylistic, structural. And structure begins with restraint. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to pause before speaking, not to appear mysterious, but to ensure impulse did not command expression. Epictetus treated speech as discipline. He believed unnecessary words diluted self-command. Their principle was simple. Words must pass through judgment before they pass through the mouth. From this emerged 3 disciplines. First, delay creates dominance. A 2-second pause restores command. Second, compression creates clarity. If your point cannot survive reduction, it was not strong. Third, restraint creates presence. Economy signals internal order. This is not about saying less randomly. It is about saying only what is necessary. Authority is not intensity. It is control. Here is the principle most people resist. Overspeaking is physiological discharge. The body feels evaluation. The ego detects risk. Speech becomes a release valve. You are not clarifying. You are relieving tension. To break this loop, discipline must interrupt physiology. When asked a question, pause. Let the silence exist. When challenged, answer once. Do not defend unless requested. When tempted to justify, remove the justification. Eliminate phrases like, I just think, maybe. To be honest, they weaken projection. If a sentence can be cut in half without losing meaning, cut it. Not for minimalism, for dominance, through precision. As your words become fewer, their weight increases. As your pauses lengthen, your presence stabilizes. Silence stops feeling threatening. It starts feeling controlled. Respect is not captured through sound. It is projected through order. If you must speak excessively to feel secure, you are negotiating for authority. Negotiation is fragility. The man who cannot tolerate silence cannot command attention. The man who cannot control his speech cannot control perception. But the one who governs his words governs the frame, and the frame determines hierarchy. If you're committed to emotional control and psychological command, subscribe and stand with this community. Like the video to support content that builds mental armor, and comment Titan in training if you're serious about growth. Let's build pressure that forges strength. Strength grows in silence, but Titans train together.